Hi, everybody. Dakota's Den. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing good. Today here in Pennsylvania, it's nice and cool. There's no sun out. Yesterday was brutal, but everything's doing good. Well, today we're here to talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. Not politics today, not really. Even though I hear in the background there's some interesting stuff going on the Don Lemon show about the Epstein files, about names being redacted, but that's for another. Go watch Don Lennon. Lemon. Umar Johnson. What is going on with him? I used to follow him because I felt like he had good things to say for black women, for black men to try to get the culture to come together and raise the children, and the father should stay in the house, and there should be a mother and a father, and we should work together, not be separate. 70% divorces, women going out partying, not taking care of the kids, men not giving a damn. He was really on it. And I'm going to show you a clip of why I started following Dr. Umar Johnson. And I see that with the scandal that's going on with him, it's mostly men talking about the scandal. And it's very controversial because even though Dr. Umar Johnson was trying to tell men how to be, basically, he was also trying to tell women how to not be. And if it was even possible, because when you're playing the mother and you're playing the father and you're playing the aunt, the uncle, the teacher, the everything, especially if it's a female to a young man child, that is more than a notion. More than a notion. But Dr. Umar, everybody knows that for 15 years he's been trying to build the school, the Frederick Douglass School for Young Black Children. He bought a building in Wilmington, Delaware for a couple of $1 million, but that was almost 15 years ago. And everybody's saying he's always online asking for donations. Help the black kids, help me build the school. I'm looking for resumes for teachers. The kids that come to my school, especially the young girl kids, there'll be no hair weaves, there'll be no blonde hair. Everybody has to be 100% natural. And I love that. I love that. So, but now he's in a legal fallout. The legal fallout includes a breach of contract lawsuit filed in the Wilmington, Delaware courts. Okay, it's a culmination in a default judgment against Dr. Umar Johnson, and this took place in June 2023 after he failed to show up for trial. It was the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Leadership Academy, FDMG Academy. Okay, but the school never opened. And now everybody wants to know what's going on with Dr. Umar. He's online begging for money. He did not open the school, and most of his followers and givers, donators, were women. You know the story. Women love a strong, smooth talking, articulate, smart, intelligent man. We do. I'm going to say we do. I mean, you ain't getting none of my money, but there's a lot of women out here that will donate, and they did, to the sum, I believe, of approximately $4 million. Where's the $4 million, Dr. Umar Johnson? Okay, so let me show you guys this clip. This clip of what Dr. Umar Johnson used to be. He used to be fabulous, I thought. He was on The Breakfast Club. He was on all kinds. He was on the Martin Rowland show. He was on everything. But you guys got to listen to this because he is very articulate. And it's a shame that this all went to waste. It all went to waste. Listen.
Hold down the black house by herself. Although imperfectly, most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
Yes,
See, what
sir.
you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. The black woman has had to hold down the black
Listen
house
to that again.
by
Give
herself.
him a hand.
Although imperfectly, most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
Yeah.
See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. A black woman has...
Oh my goodness. I couldn't have said that better myself. You see? Oh, let me turn this up. Couldn't have said that better myself. You see what I mean? He and all of his interviews before he got exposed were to that effect. I mean, he's just right on point. He's spot on about how basically it takes a male, a black male, scam likely. What are these scam likely calls? It takes a black male to raise a black male. Trust me, I know. So now let me show you this clip about how I kind of sort of fell out of favor with Dr. Umar Johnson. I heard he had a wedding ceremony. Beautiful, fine. Everybody should have one in their life. But then I found out that he was having a ceremony with 2 women. I know they do that in other countries, but in this country, isn't it considered bigamy? So it wasn't a real ceremony. It couldn't have been because he's not in jail for bigamy. But this is where I fell out of favor with him. Why are you with 2 women? You're telling that the black man should be in the house with his kids and get married, blah, blah, blah. And what are you doing? Okay, let's watch this clip. This is a clip of his wedding or ceremony with 2 women. Let's check this out.
Umar Johnson, Mr. King Kong Consciousness himself, as he boogied down to Jagged Edge's Let's Get Married this past Saturday at his 2nd annual FDMG Festival. FDMG stands for Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. This is a school that Dr. Umar has been putting together for the past, 10 years, and we have yet to see any motion involving that school. And I also believe that he did receive a letter from the government basically saying, cut it short with asking for donations because you were never authorized to have a school, and it doesn't look like you are even using these donations for a school. So, anyways, so during this festival, he is joined by 2 black women, and apparently this is another spiritual marriage by the ancestors that he has been involved in.
See, this is where I fell out of favor, or where he fell out of favor to me. Why are you having a ceremony with 2 women? Why can't you, at your age, just be with 1 woman, or just don't get married? You don't have to be with 1 woman, but don't get married. Don't obligate yourself. And shout out to Nikki Talks for this video. But let's continue this wedding ceremony. Travesty, I don't know what to call it.
Publicly. Yes, they had I don't know what to call him, Wykel. They had Wykel Jackson there performing at the festival. So yeah, they did it big. But yeah, this is his 2nd time doing this at the festival. He also did it last year as well. He had 2 black women that he had a whole ceremony going on with, and he was begging for donations and talking about the school then and there. That was last year. And here we are, 2022, and it is 2 whole different women. and he's pretty much doing the same thing.
I didn't know that. So he had 2 ceremonies with 2 women. Then he had 2 ceremonies with 2 other women. You know what? It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Why are these ladies getting entangled in this nonsense? Maybe money, all the millions of dollars were coming in, and they were like, I'm gonna get me some of that money, and that's probably what it was. But now that the money has dried up, I haven't seen in with the situation that he's in right now, with the legal situation and the begging for money and everything. Where are the women? Where are the 4 women now? Usually couples work together. I haven't seen or heard. Let's continue.
Putting on a big show, asking for donations, etc. And yeah, what do you guys make of this? I mean, clearly, marriage is just a show or a joke to him. I'm taking it because he is just quote unquote spiritually marrying these women. And to me, it seems like he is just doing it to put on a show. He's doing it for clickbait. He's doing it for views. He's doing it to get donations. So, yeah.
He's doing it because he's a show pony. That's why he's doing it. So, okay, besides the wedding, besides the stupid wedding, I used to follow him. He was very articulate. He was saying the right things to black men. The school was an outstanding idea. I even thought about donating to the school myself, even though I decided not to, because I'm not that easy. I would need more, and I was right. I was right. So, like I said, Umar was being interviewed on the Breakfast Club. He was on Roland Martin. He traveled around the world. I don't even know how much money he got for each interview, and that would be a good question to find out, right? How much money does Umar Johnson get for each speaking session? I'm asking ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like another person. They tell you everything. They'll tell you what color you should paint your room. You're crocheting and you miss a stitch. Oh, what? Okay. According to an ex Twitter post about 5 to 6 years ago, Dr. Johnson stated, I charge $15 per minute for my services. Wait a minute. $15 a minute? I ain't never heard no crap like that. Usually it's an hour. I charge $15 per minute for my services, which is based upon the duration of the speech. What? At a rate of a 30-minute speech, okay. A 30-minute speech would cost around $450, and a 60-minute speech would engage about $900. So that's how much money he was making during his speeches. Okay, the All American Speakers Bureau, I didn't know there was such a thing. The All American Speakers Bureau listed that Dr. Johnson's booking fees as $5,000 to $10,000, both for live and for virtual. So I would say he was making decent money. I would say so. He's making more money than I'm making. So, okay. So you see how much money he was making during his speeches. And you see that he was taking donations, and he was getting I heard $4 million. That's the last thing I heard that he was getting. All of a sudden, just 2 days ago, the shit hit the fan. Everybody knows now that Dr. Umar was allegedly squandering the millions of dollars that the donations he was getting, probably from a lot of single women. He was squandering the money he's getting for his speeches. From what I heard from one podcaster who did his name was Lennon, I think, a 5 hour YouTube video that Umar was making YouTube videos in his mother's closet. And the way he could tell that he was in his mother's closet is because there was always red lace curtains in the corner. Like he would decorate it with like dashiki material, and he would put on his little hats and his what do you call them, kufis or whatever you call them, and he would have on his African necklaces, just trying to change things up, changing the backdrop and all that. But always those red curtains were all like you could usually see like a little split of the red curtains in his mama's closet. So it's being, and the guy said that Umar was probably homeless since 2019 because he had an eviction in 2019. Yet he's talking like he's knowledgeable and he's important and he's traveling and he lives with his mom. I think he's his mother's caregiver. But he was doing I thought he was going to go places. But here we are, moving fast forward. Let's check out this video. Here we are today. And like I said, it's only men on here talking about this. But as a woman, I'm just going to say that I don't appreciate Umar Johnson playing on single women's emotions. It's very hard for a single woman to raise a young black boy or a young black girl, but especially a young black boy. And he played on the women's emotions, who gave him donations. And the sad thing about it is that right now the scam is come to light. Okay, it's been exposed. It's come to light. There are people that are still going to donate to him. But okay, now I know you probably saw this video. I don't know, but from where we were in the beginning, when he was all that, and I really loved him, this is where we are now.
Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and my...
He said his loyal supporters, which mean women. And he said he want to take care of Queen Badunda Patina. Who is that? Maybe that's his mother, or maybe one of his women.
Myself, I have never asked the people for $1 in my life, but right now, I don't have any money because my account was frozen by my bank.
This is Pocket Watching with JT. Hey, Pocket Watchers, we have breaking news that the Prince of
Maryland, my Baltimore, my Georgia, my Florida, my Arkansas, Alabama, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City Africans. It's your big brother King Kong. I need y'all to listen up. I got a very important announcement. I'm only going to keep you a few minutes. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th. Only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told.
The problem is, Dr. Umar, it's called commingling. When you have your personal account and you have your business account, you are not supposed to commingle those accounts. That is illegal. That's why you were investigated.
That it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account. Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. If you have sent a check or money order donation to FDMG, let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of...
Wait a minute now. I had someone go into my account before. I was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I went to get a henna, those temporary tattoos that they put on you. And I don't use your debit card in Atlantic City. I use my debit card. And that night I got home, I could see where they had taken out $100 5 times instead of 1 time. I could see that. But I didn't see it. The bank let me know. They did not freeze my account. They just let me know that it seems fishy and it seemed like it should not have. It just was out of place because usually places like that charge 1 time. And eventually I got my money back after about a week of investigation. They did not freeze my account.
Of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was between June 25th. That's when Medea went public. That's when Medea went...
I knew he was going to say this. Medea is the lady who was coming to his home to take care of his mother. She said that the house was really junky, almost hoarder-like, and she had to find, clean the mom up, put clothes on her, blah, blah, blah. And of course, you know what happens when you got a man and you got a cleaner or a CNA coming in to take care of mom, they end up hooking up. But something happened where it made a turn it went wrong, and now he's complaining that her booty stinks, and she's complaining that his house was dirty and that he was disgusting and that he didn't take care of his mother. So now he's blaming the money situation on her. I forgot her name, but I knew that was going to happen. Medea. Right, let's continue.
Went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. So y'all know my I believe Medea and Pastor Bussy were fraudulently trying to get into my account. And if we find out that's the case, they will be sued and possibly arrested because fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Again, June 25th to July 10th is the period of suspicious activity. That is from the time Medea went public.
Okay. All right. You know what? We don't even have to continue that. Stop trying to use Medea as a scapegoat. Okay, if Medea was the one that was trying to get into your account, they would know by now. They would know. So I don't think it's Medea. I think it's you, Dr. Umar. As much as I used to like you, I'm sorry to see you go down like this. Because you had the gift of gab, very PhD, very intelligent. I enjoyed the way you talked. But this story is not sounding good. You shouldn't be online begging for people for a couple of dollars. You should not have commingled your accounts. You should not have. Okay, so last clip. And this is the kicker. This is what brought Dr. Umar Johnson down. Okay, it was a scorned woman who brought him down. Now, it's been said that he was given an ultimatum by the courts. You are no longer allowed to solicit money for your school. You are no longer allowed to do that. If we catch wind of you doing that, you could face fines, jail time, all the above. They explicitly told him that. and a scorned woman, I'm sure, turned him in. So let's listen to what Bra Winston, shout out to Bra Winston. Check out this video, y'all.
Description box if you got any questions about anything, okay? Well, what Umar never told his supporters, what thousands of those people have no idea, is this: that for the past 3 years, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania have been trying to get Umar to turn in certain documentation so that they could properly register his nonprofit school, the Frederick Douglass blah, 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 and he's failed to comply. They've actually sent him so many notices. Matter of fact, he received his first cease and desist from them in March of 2022. And in that particular cease and desist, they said to him, as of today, effective immediately, we demand that you cease and desist solicitation of any and all donations, gifts. They listed out all these things in the name of this school nonprofit. They even said to him, you can't even do a fundraiser. You must turn in this. They listed off all these things. They also said to him, if we discover that you are soliciting, accepting donations in the name of this school, an investigation will be opened and you'll be subject to fines. They listed off a litany of things. Well, it appears they finally are doing that.
Didn't I say that? Didn't I say that? I knew that's what happened. I didn't see her video, but I saw a couple other people's videos, so I'm just putting them all together. And it seems like he did not answer those court, probably came in a certified mail. He did not answer the mails because he didn't want to be accountable. If you answered a mail, then you got to do something. And you got to tell people, your stockholders, or I won't say stockholders in this case, single women, you got to be transparent. And he didn't want to do it. He knew it was coming. And like I said, I feel so bad because he was such an articulate, educated, handsome young man. But I don't know. Let's continue the video.
They finally have opened up an investigation. All of us understand that when you are collecting money in the...
So just for a quick moment here, just to say this. If you, and I'm trying to be as quick as possible. I remember some time ago I was watching this guy's channel. His name is I think it's something like Pocket Watching with JT. Okay, and he was going over Umar's in the schools, like I think tax records or something to that effect. There's some records regarding the school, and he was explaining how Umar did not report a simple form. Okay, and I was saying to myself, like, why would he not report that? And JT was like, look, this is if I'm not mistaken, it was JT the Pocket Watch, okay, on YouTube. And he was saying, he could have easily reported this, but he didn't. And the reason why he doesn't report a lot of this stuff, see, what she's talking about PA and how they were telling him essentially, you can't keep on saying that you're a nonprofit and that you're registered when you're not, but you're essentially soliciting funds from people. When the school's not registered, we're asking you to fill out simple stuff and you won't do that. And the reason why he doesn't do it is because he doesn't want the school to open. It's as simple as that. He does not desire for the school to open. It's all a scam. It's all a scam, y'all. And I said, I believe that he maybe worked with the FBI. Because I remember the first time I thought that he worked with the FBI was when I started noticing he started coming against Obama a lot. And I was like, what did Obama do then? I know those guys didn't like President Obama when he became president. But I was like, the way he was coming at him, I was like, man, that's crazy timing. You know what I mean? It was like, I noticed that for a lot of people and I'm not saying Obama is perfect, I'm saying it's a lot of people that I noticed that they've been doing this in the community, that Umar will always be against them. And I used to think to myself, you know what, if the FBI wanted somebody to attack leaders, he would be the perfect person because he's doing it all the time for free. But let's continue with this first, and we'll get more into that.
Name of a nonprofit that you actually don't have, that is fraud, is illegal. Which, as they said to him in that first cease and desist, you are opening up yourself to all types of levies if they find out that you're doing that. And I happen to know, without telling you how I know, there are many, many of the women that he actually took advantage of. They took some of those videos that he uploaded of him sitting in some car soliciting donations in the name of that school. They sent copies of those videos to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
A scorned woman, watch out.
I mean, going back to as far as 2021, they did. So they have proof that he has violated everything that they asked him not to do. He did the opposite. He did what they asked him not to do. And so what appears to have happened is this. They escalated the situation after his failure to comply. And so they opened up an investigation, and they saw that he was soliciting donations in one account in the name of that school, transferring that money to his own personal accounts. And so they froze both accounts while this investigation is going on. Now, of course, just like he never told them about the first cease and desist, notice I said the first cease.
Now we're gonna stop right here, okay, for her video. You know, when she says she didn't have
Yeah, that's enough. Well, listen. Now you guys see what happened with Dr. Umar Johnson. Can he come back from this? I doubt it very much. It's, the woman who was being his mother's CNA caregiver, she said that all he ever thought about was something you'd never think was scam likely. Oh my God. All he ever thinks about was sex. That's what she said. She said that's all he ever thought about. And eventually, when a man just keeps on wanting to have sex on a woman's perspective, sex all the time, sex, one of those women are going to catch feelings. They're going to catch feelings for you, and it might not be mutual, and then that's when she starts to feel bad, and that's when she starts to get sad, and that's when she turns into a scorned woman. And as we know, hell hath no fury like a scorned woman. This is actually a paraphrase from a line in 1697 play, The Burning Bride. Okay? Heaven has no rage like love to hatred turns, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. So basically, women, not a woman, I should say, women scorned is what kind of what brought Umar Johnson down, even though he did it to himself. Because he didn't have to squander the money. He didn't have to use our young children, especially young black boys, to get next to black women to make us feel good about you. You didn't have to do that. That there's a lot of things you can do to a woman, but don't mess with their children and don't use their children against them in an emotional way. And that's what he did. God doesn't like ugly. Now he's turned in. Will he have to do jail time? Who knows? If he can't return the money, I don't know what happens. If he can't return the money, what happens if you were given money for your business and you do not return it? I'm asking ChatGPT. And it says, if you were given money for your business, whether donations, investment loans, or grants, and you don't use it as promised or return it when required, several legal and financial consequences could follow. So there you go. So not only that, but you've lost public trust. You lost my trust. You have. So everybody, that's a woman's perspective about what's going on with Dr. Umar Johnson. I think you guys needed to hear that. Probably most women, we really loved you, Dr. Umar. We really did. We were rooting for you. We wanted that school to open. We wanted to see more from you. We wanted to see from the proteges that you taught, from the school, the results of the school. I was just so looking forward to that. Even thought about donating myself, maybe volunteering or whatever, but no more. No more. So everyone, this is Dakota from Pennsylvania, Dakota's Den, talking about Dr. Umar Johnson. And as I'm sitting here, Don Lemon is, you everybody know Don Lemon, he's still on the TV. And I just heard him say in the back of my ear that the Epstein's files, a lot of names have been taken out of it because because Trump was not a president at the time. All of the alleged shenanigans took place, so he was a private citizen. So you can't give out private citizens' information in some instances. So some of the names were redacted. I don't talk about politics on this channel, but as I'm talking to you, I heard it going in my other ear. So you guys might want to check out the Don Lemon Show to check that out, because I'm certainly going to check it out. All right, everybody. And as everybody knows, at the end of my videos, I usually put up a picture or a couple of pictures that I painted myself. So if you want to purchase them, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments and we can make it happen. And other than that, everybody, please have a wonderful day. Enjoy the non-sunshine because it is nice and cool here. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.